that down, let's get things started with this. It was 6 years ago that Kevin Feige announced that Mahershala Ali was going to be playing Blade, and everybody got all excited. And it's been slow going. Yeah. They lost a couple of directors. They lost a couple of set of writers. They lost some of their cast, like Delroy Lindo was going to be in this movie, and now he's not. And now, there was some whisper starting a couple of weeks ago that they may have zeroed in on their director, but then we didn't hear anything. And now, as Comic Book Movie confirms, it sounds like both Blade and X-Men are still without directors. The former isn't too surprising following the recent news that Marvel had shelved the Daywalker's next solo outing for the time being, but we've been hearing that Marvel was zeroing in on a director for X-Men a few months ago at this stage. All right, the X-Men thing, not as important. That movie is still years away, so that's not really the big issue right now. The thing about Blade, and I know we just keep coming back to this, but I think when it's all said and done, more than Iron Man 2 or Thor the Dark World or whatever Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania was, I think when it's all wrapped up and Kevin Feige is stepping down, I think he'll look back as this Blade fiasco is going to be probably the biggest blemish on his record. Because, I mean, he marched Mahershala Ali out on stage as the one more thing, the big, cherry on top of the Comic-Con presentation pie, and told the world, we've got this. And he recently said, Blade's still a priority for us. We're still going at it. How do you, in year 6, not just have a director at this point? Like, because nothing else really happens until you have that director to kind of guide the overall thing. And Rob, we've joked about it in the past, but I honestly have to ask now, if after we just got word last month or 2 months ago, they might have been circling a director that they might have, and now we're finding they still don't have any. Is it time for us to just acknowledge that maybe at least the iteration we've been talking about with Mahershala Ali and all that kind of stuff, is it just time for us to non-jokingly just say, this ain't ever going to happen at this point? I don't know. How do you see that?
Well, the thing about it is everybody wants a Blade movie. Blade's cool, man. I went back and rewatched Stephen Norrington's Blade, like just the opening of that movie with Tracy Lords.
The blood rave.
The blood rave. And when Blade shows up, it's a little ridiculous now because it's kind of over the top and the CG obviously is a little bit more primitive. But when like that New Order remix kicks in, it's just so cool. And Mahershala Ali, Wesley Snipes is cool. But Mahershala Ali has gravitas.
Oh, yeah. He's an Academy Award-winning actor.
Yeah, and I'm like, you gotta make it. You gotta make it. I mean, I want to see it. Now, I understand they might not have been able to crack it, but how do you not crack a story? How do you not? There's plenty of Marvel comics you can go back into and look and get the story. I mean, even if it's not a Blade story, Morbius the Living Vampire. I mean, you can go to the comic and not say you're going to the comic because it's owned by someone else. But I just don't understand. I don't understand. And the only thing I heard of when I interviewed Ruth Carter, who was working on Sinners, won 2 Academy Awards for Black Panther and Wakanda Forever, when she said she was working on the movie and it was set in the 1920s. I'm like, well, that sounded cool. Like, what? How come it didn't happen? That's what I want to know. How does it not happen in 6 years?
Now, I see some people talking in the live chat, and I get it. Like, if you were moving forward and then you realize this doesn't work, pull the plug on it. I agree with that.
Me too.
But to your point, Rob, 6 years. You're telling me you can't come up with a good story with every writer in the world at your disposal, with every resource in the world at your disposal, that in 6 years, you can't come up with at least a solid story that in the hands of a right director, and again, you've got every director in the world at your disposal, practically. you're telling me you haven't been able to come up with anything that in the hands of the right director can make something entertaining and valuable?
And then they shot Quantumania?
Yeah, and yet that guy made no problem.
I mean, I don't mean to be harsh because, I do love the MCU, but give me a break. It's like these are the things that you're giving us now, and you can't give us Blade. I mean, I would have thought that in terms of genre fare, I mean, Blade is probably the most stripped down non-MCU film they could make. And you have a literally going all the way back to the 20s, a rich history of vampire cinema. You can't find somebody in Hollywood who wants to. I mean, I would think one of the attractions is you could make it for a lot less money. You don't have to go to these green screen stages, and you could actually shoot things much more practically. And I don't know, man.
By the way, some people in the live chat I'm seeing are asking, well, doesn't Mahershala Ali have final say on something and he's turning things down? Nobody has final say on anything in the Marvel Cinematic Universe whose name isn't Kevin Feige. Like, no actor, no director has final say on shit other than Kevin Feige. So no, that's not true. And and it became something of an object lesson, I think, for all of Hollywood. Because remember, James Gunn recently came out and said, yeah, we're not going to announce movies until we've got a completed script and we're ready to go. And I think Kevin Feige marching out Mahershala Ali, making this announcement when they didn't have a movie yet, has kind of probably been a great lesson for them over at Marvel, because I have a feeling they're not going to make that mistake ever again, and for other things as well. But I mean, Ray, I'm going to have to ask you, are we ever going to see, because I'm going to say it at this point, I don't think I officially no longer believe we were ever going to see Mahershala Ali as Blade.
Unfortunately,
maybe as a voice in an animated thing, but that doesn't really count.
There might be another chance for this to actually come together when the Blade video game comes out, like Jonathan was talking about earlier. Maybe they have like some sort of they synchronize the dates kind of close with each other. I'm not sure when that game's supposed to come out, but that hasn't gotten canceled, which I'm surprised. I thought it would. What's funny about Blade is that there's like with Daredevil, you have all that violence that's going on now in the MCU or Marvel universe, and then you have like the fantastic stuff, like the less violent stuff that's happening in theaters. Although Thunderbolts, we had that one thing that happened.
Oh, they killed a lot of people in Thunderbolts.
Yeah.
A lot of people got killed in Thunderbolts.
So
I'm not talking about Void either. I'm talking like guns. People got shot to death in the Thunderbolts.
Like
Florence Pugh killed a lot of people.
Yeah, Florence Pugh had a high body count.
Like the blood and gore that like Blade usually we want to see from a Blade movie, like heads getting cut off with swords.
You'd have to go like Deadpool level.
It's possible now, right? So I story wise, and just even for me, I think crazy sometimes, and I can't even make it fit with what's going on in the MCU right now.
Yeah, and the video game is a totally separate
right,
thing.
right.
Like,
But
that won't have anything to do with anything.
It just gives me more hope that maybe they still have hope. In
unfortunately, one is not connected to the other. Guys, we want to take a second to thank a sponsor of today's video, Hungryroot. Okay, so I'm sure you guys can all relate to this. Spring hits and suddenly life goes from like 0 to 100. Busy season is officially in full swing over here. And honestly, who's got time to go grocery shopping? That's where Hungryroot comes in. See, because Hungryroot is like having your own personal shopper. I told them my goals and they started curating groceries for me that actually fit my life. Be it smoothies, snacks, salad kits, even ready to eat meals. All clean ingredients, no artificial junk. This week, I got the grilled turkey tenderloin with pesto grilled veggies, and it was amazing. And I got my usual protein-packed snacks. It's like they're learning my taste better than I even know myself. And the best part is, I don't have to waste time driving to the grocery store and wandering the aisles. That's time I can spend doing literally absolutely anything else. Guys, I love Hungryroot. Take advantage of this exclusive offer. For a limited time, get 40% off your first box, plus get a free item in every box for life. Go to hungryroot.com/Campea and use the code Campea. That's hungryroot.com/Campea, code Campea, to get 40% off your first box and a free item of your choice for life. hungryroot.com/Campea, code Campea. Anyway, guys, the question is for you. What do you think about this? I mean, at this point, there is still no director for Blade. And Mahershala Ali, who I at first was very excited about, but I said, ooh, but is he a little old to start an MCU character? He's 6 years older now. I mean, I don't know. Do you think this thing is actually going to happen now? Whatever you think, jump down to the comment section below and let us know your thoughts. Hey guys, thanks so much for watching this video. Make sure you like the video, leave a comment, and subscribe to our channel. And don't forget, we have a daily podcast called the John Campea Show podcast, available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or your favorite podcasting app of choice. Go and subscribe to it today so it'll be there when you need it.